I'm back. Hello, boys and girls. You are now watching Peter's Raw Recap. Again, it's Peter's Raw Recap. This Raw is from Minneapolis, and it was surrounded by the Slammy Awards. Okay? But before I go into the Raw, I'm going to basically pub the video prior to this. So if you haven't seen it yet, I did one today. That's why I'm still wearing the same sweater. I'm a little under the weather this weekend, so I posted today. ROH Ring of Honor's Final Battle 2015. I did a review of that, and I posted it earlier today. It's not only on YouTube; it's also on SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, and Podbean. So if you haven't yet, or you plan to listen to other Ring of Honor Final Battle 2015 reviews, be sure to check out mine, either here or on the social media, not social media, but podcast mediums. And with that said, I'm going to try not to keep you here for long. I'm not at all. I'm going to try to get through this as fast as I can. So I'm just going to get the plugs out. PJTW Central. PJTW Central. That's how you find me on Twitter. And you can also like the videos or check out the other ones before. Subscribe, hit the button below, subscribe, and share. Again, share. I'm going to go and get that out of the way. I'm probably mention it again at the end, but I'm gonna try to run through this stuff because this was in itself a show full of a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff going on. Again, you had you got the show, then you got the Slammies, just a bunch of shit, man. It's like, whoa, you jam-packed this fucking 3 hours. And basically, all right, let's go into this. It's in Minneapolis, the home of Brock Lesnar. And the Slammies begin with Stephanie McMahon. She comes out and she's basically cutting a promo on, it being a dark period for her family because Roman Reigns done killed them all, but she's in a good mood. Roman Reigns shows up. Bully Reigns shows up and annoys her. Gloats about what he did to her family. And that's it. And that he liked it. I like terrorizing your family. She gets pissed off and kicks him out the ring. He's all like, well, I'm going to make her mad. And, turns his back on her. And then all of a sudden she's like, don't turn your back on me. You get back in here. So, all of a sudden he's like a reverse psychologist, some shit. And I don't know. I'm not buying into this new superhero, which we call Roman Reigns. It's just not working to me. And because he comes out there and made a fool of her and disrespected her, she's going after the Rain Men again. This is the whole thing. We got to set an example out of you by setting an example out of your hombres. So what we're going to do is stack the cards against your hombres. So the Usos will be in a 3-on-2 match against the New Day, and Dean Ambrose is going to have to face Sheamus in a steel cage match, right? The idea is to stack the cards to make an advantage. To set an example, and hopefully try to get dissension from the Rain Men onto Roman Reigns because he keeps fucking up, and them having to sort of, suffer the consequences of his what I want to say. His It's a word I'm looking for. I can't even fucking say it. Him just being an asshole, basically. I'll come back to it in a sec. Um, Insubordinates. That's the word I'm looking for. Insubordinates. The first Slammy Awards is we get the Breakout Star, and it's hosted by Ziggler. He's announcing the nominees and the winner. And the nominees are Kevin Owens, Neville, Charlotte, Breeze, and Braun Strowman. The winner is Neville. He comes out and he's like, "This is awesome." And then Kevin Owens comes out on some like Kanye West, "I'm gonna let you finish" type shit. It tells Neville to get the hell out of there. And he talks about how he should have been the breakout star and that he beat John Cena. Basically, this is some played out, again, Kanye West type shit. And when Neville leaves, you can see him in the back. I think he flicks him off. You got to rewatch the tape. I'm going to rewatch it just to make sure he did. I'm pretty sure he flicked them off on his way out. And then Owens turns to Ziggler and is like, "Well, the only award you'll win is the Has-Been Award." And then they get into a little scuffle. And that's it for that segment. Last week, Kevin Owens, I don't know. I don't know if he actually won the match or not, but they faced Thursday, actually. They faced Thursday on SmackDown. And I'm pretty sure, let me check my notes. What happened? Dolph Ziggler versus Owens. Oh, yeah, Owens got DQ'd. That's what happened last fucking time they met up. Owens got DQ'd for being too brutal. He, threw him into, he kept throwing him all over the outside and stuff, and so the ref threw the match. So it was an incomplete match. They finally going to get their chance to meet again tonight. And then what we get here? Fucking Bray Wyatt versus Kane in the awkward moment of the night. Even more so than Kevin Owens kicking out Neville. Because Bray Wyatt is already in the ring. He gets the jobber intro. And then Kane shows up. He goes to hit his pyro, and nothing happens. Nothing happens. Now, my whole thing is this. I don't know whether that was a botch from whoever's handling the pyro, or they're still going on the storyline that Kane has his powers taken by the Wyatts. I most certainly hope so. Okay? I most certainly hope that that was not a botch and that they're following up with the storyline that not only does Bray Wyatt have the powers of Kane, Undertaker, but he also has the powers of Kane. I really hope that that's the case because they never follow up on things like this. It's attention to detail. People think it was a botch. I go, all right, guys, remember, Bray still has some powers of Undertaker, and maybe that's what that was. So my hopes are high that they can tie that in. If they don't tie that in, and I'm thinking also Michael Cole or JBL could have said something about it. It's like, oh yeah, they could have saved the moment. Yeah, remember? JBL. Yeah, you remember? He took some of his powers, and maybe that's what that was. We'll see. This match itself, Kane versus Bray, results in a DQ because the Wyatts attack Kane, and then the Dudley boys, along with Tommy Dreamer, they come out for the save. I guess Tommy Dreamer's still on contract. I thought those old fuckers were dead. I thought they were left behind in Philly, never to return. At least Dreamer, at least. But sure enough, they show back up. They just can't get enough of an ass kicking. They can't get enough of an ass kicking from the Wyatts. So this turns into a 4-on-4. You get Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family versus Kane and the Dudleys and Tommy Dreamer, which results in a lariat to Harper. I mean, lariat from Harper to Devon to get the victory. So again, this is like the third straight time that the Wyatts have gone over on the Dudleys. All right? And Dreamer. We need to let it go now. All right? The Wyatts need to move into something else, or they're just going to milk this until they get to the fucking Royal Rumble. But this is time to move on. That's why I didn't want Bray part of this, because I knew this was going to be some weird clusterfuck that they wouldn't be able to get out of smoother. Santino Marella shows up for the LOL moment of the year, and the nominees were the trombone versus the kazoo battle. That is Xavier Wood versus Christian backstage. We get the Bushwhackers at their Hall of Fame speech, giving a shout out to Jim Duggan, but there was a lot of hoes and whatever. It's just a funny moment. And then you have the Miz in a not Viagra commercial when he basically steps in on Damian Sandow to do the commercial for him. He doesn't know the commercial is for a male enhancement pill. That actually was a funny segment, if I remember correctly. And then you have Triple H and Stephanie McMahon dancing with the New Day. And then you have the R-Truth Money in the Bank contestant promo that was not to be because he was not in the Money in the Bank. He wasn't in the Money in the Bank match. And R-Truth wins this. And just to speak on it, again, it's probably one of the coolest moments I've seen since I started watching wrestling again. R-Truth comes out because he's not to be taken seriously. He comes out and it seems that he's ready to cut the greatest promo in his entire career. He's like, I've always had a fear of heights, and I'm going to get on that ladder and I'm going to take the Money in the Bank. I mean, it's just like he comes out there, no jokes. And he fucking just cuts this sick promo until he's interrupted by Kane. It's like, you're not even in it, bro. And he's like, my bad. But it's like, yeah, it's good stuff. He ended up doing it like once more, I think in the Survivor Series or something like that. He just did it recently. I can't even remember what it was, but I like this. I like when they do this with the R-Truth. It's pretty funny because it's like, he's not to be taken serious. But what if he was? Just think of a world where R-Truth was actually a legitimate contender. But Santino takes the Slammy because he's like, I'm funnier than he is, and it looked better on me. And then R-Truth's like, hey, man, I'm here, man. Give him my fucking trophy. So Truth's there. What we get before then? All right. Neville is there. Truth's there. And then we get to the rest of the Slammy Awards later on that it's like, oh, stop. All right. So what we got here? Oh, yeah. I thought that Mick Foley was on sort of bad terms with the WWE because not too long ago he cut a promo on his Facebook about how the WWE Raw is sucks, basically. He calls them out, says they suck. So we're all sitting around thinking that, hey, I guess old Saint Mick won't be returning to do a WWE promo for the WWEshop.com. And sure enough, he was there. Him and Noelle, whatever the fuck her name is, the daughter. I don't know who the other person was who played the other elf, but they were there chilling. And I guess they're still on good terms. All right. Heyman comes out with the OMG moment. And the nominees are Seth Rollins catching in at Mania, Brock snapping the day after Mania, and F5 and Michael Cole. The Kalisto Selena Del Sol, which just happened at TLC, off the ladder, I think on Jey Uso. And then you have the Wyatts attacking The Undertaker after his match with Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell. And then Sheamus cashing in at Survivor Series on on Roman Reigns, and the winner is Kalisto. Now, honestly, I thought Seth was going to win this. Seth catching at WrestleMania 31. That was amazing. I don't care what anyone says. That was what first of its kind. Won't be the last of its kind, but it was the first of its kind. If you look for all the reactions of any moment that's happened over the past year, I'd imagine the cash in by Seth Rollins tops them all. So I voted Seth. But Kalisto won. I mean, that was his moment. Even in my reaction video to him hitting that, I was like, whoa, that was his moment. So I'm a Kalisto fan. I guess this is inch by inch them getting behind Kalisto. And they should get behind Kalisto. But Kalisto was there to get his Slammy. You get Kevin Owens in the Ziggler match because of what happened in the beginning of the show. And basically, it's a 50-50s match. And, 50-50. Like, no one really had control. They're just going at it like a fucking video game. Until Dolph Ziggler hits the Fameasser. Owens kick out. And then he runs towards Owens, basically to put himself in a pop-up powerbomb, and Owen wins clean as fuck. And again, Ziggler drops down the totem pole further and fucking further. And hey, Kevin ascends. Kevin Owens ascends as this dastardly piece of shit heel. Now I wish he would cheat more. He's a heel because he's a tough guy, but I don't think tough guys, tough guys are heels. I think tough guys just want to fight. If they could just turn up the dastardly a little bit on Kevin Owens, I think, it could work where he can not be liked. You're lacking in the heels, and you're lacking even more with this fucking League of Nations, League of Jobbers. No one's taking them serious. So you got to have someone to fucking boo other than The Miz, who's not really an in-ring performer anymore. All right, Superstar of the Year, and it's presented by Stephanie McMahon. And the whole object of this is that all the competitors, all the workers, from superstars and main event on up to John Cena and The Undertaker, you just hashtag their name, put their name, whoever it was, and hashtag it. Superstar of the Year, and they were going to tally up the votes and give it to you after the break. And Rollins wins. The ones that they showcased was Sheamus, Cena, Owens, Ambrose, Bray, New Day, Brock, Undertaker, Rollins, and Sting. That's the ones that they showcased. But you could have voted for anyone. You could have voted for fucking... You could have voted for El Torito if you wanted to. But Rollins wins, and he comes out on crutches, and he gets a huge babyface pop. And he talks about how he basically gloats about, I should be. I done this, I done that. And one mistake, one bad fall, and it was all taken away from you. In 2016, I'm coming back, I'm taking what's mine. And babyface, dude, that was a babyface pop. If you've never seen one, I feel like when he comes back, that's going to be the case. He was already kind of a babyface as a weasel because people just respected his in-ring ability. Now he's overcoming a challenge, and nothing screams babyface like overcoming a fucking challenge. He came out on crutches. How the fuck can you boo that? Even if he's gloating and talking shit. We find out that Cena returns to face Alberto Del Rio for the U.S. belt. We get Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger with the League of Jobbers at ringside. ADR wins fair and fucking square. And I think the League of Nations come in and just basically beat up Swagger. I think he catches a brogue kick and they pick the bones. That's how they pick the bones. And Swagger and I feel like Swagger and Ryback should be a tag team. and they should be called swagger back. That's how I got my swagger back. All right. I hate swagger. I hate the name swagger. I think it's pretty cool that I don't hear the word swagger when I say Jack Swagger. I distance the two. But the swagger back would make a great tag team. They both been having their asses handed to them by the fucking League of Jobbers. Why not make a tag team? And, then you have Mark Henry presenting my least favorite Slammy of the night. And it's called The Hero in All of Us. And it's people who did great, cool things like, Make-A-Wish, Susan G. Coleman, just different, different charitable causes and their participation in it. And I was like, the nominees was Natalya, Roman Reigns, Big Show, Titus O'Neil, John Cena. And they all kind of intertwined. They all kind of ended up like being in the same shit, especially like the Make-A-Wish and the Susan G. Coleman. They all kind of contribute to that somehow. I think Titus O'Neil did something for dads and all that stuff. Just it wasn't that anyone did anything that drastically different. And my whole thing is, why are they presenting this as an award to show, it just doesn't come off as genuine. I think it's bullshit that these people are doing these things and the WWE has to showcase them like they need applause for this. They don't need applause for this. Just keep doing good things. Recognition, no, it doesn't come off as genuine. That's how I see it in my eyes. But Mark Henry, at the end, it was John Cena. Obviously, it was going to be John Cena. That guy still has the record for the most Make-A-Wish Foundation wishes. And Mark Henry says, he was talking to the boys in the back, and he was saying, like, we don't need recognition for this. We do this because we want to do it. And I'm glad he spoke up and said that. I don't know if that was off the cuff or what, but he must have felt the same sentiment that a lot of us did. I know I wasn't the only one that felt that way. But Cena, not there. We get Bo Claus, and he's presenting the surprise return. And the nominees were the Dudley Boys. You had Chris Jericho at Night of Champions. You had ADR at Hell in a Cell. You had the Demon Kane at Night of Champions. You had Sting on Raw. Sting wins, but he's not there. Ooh, boy. I actually thought, and we all knew Sting was there, I guess. It's the first time we had seen him since WrestleMania, I guess. But ADR's return was what I voted for. I have a video that's up. If you go down my PJTW live reactions, I have a reaction to Alberto Del Rio's return, and I lose my shit. It's up to like 5,000 views right now. I thought he should won it because how it all went down and how he left, and then how everything worked out for him on Lucha Underground, and how everything worked out for him at Triple H, him becoming the Triple A champion. It's like, that would have been a great spot for him to have the good return. Yeah. But Sting wins. We get the New Day versus the Usos, the 3-on-2. Sorry, I'm a little out of it because I am a little sick. So if I seem out of it in spaces where I lose memory or seem a little bit out of it, I really do apologize. You probably can hear how nasally I sound. But just this, whatever. The Usos win. Right? So that was foiled. The New Day was supposed to overwhelm the Usos. It was a long match, but the Usos win. So, I guess stacking the deck to piss off Roman Reigns, that failed. Diva of the Year. And plus, man, that was one weak-ass, some tight-ass roll-up. It really was. That was a weak-ass roll-up. How and Xavier Wood had to sit there and sell that he was rolled up. All he had to do was lift his fucking arms. He had to play like he couldn't fucking move his arms. Like there was invisible arms holding down his fucking shoulders that he couldn't lift his shit up because of that weak fucking roll up. Depressing. And they were all pissed off that the Usos won Tag Team of the Year. That's weird too, because like Tag Team of the Year, they ain't even wrestle most of the fucking year. New Day held that belt and carried the fucking tag team divisions all year. The most entertaining stuff too. They're not too entertaining now. They get on my fucking nerves. But they held it down while the Usos were out. So for the Usos to actually win is just kind of odd to me. Diva of the Year, R-Truth presents, which I thought was weird. They couldn't drag out like fucking, I don't know, Layla or something. There got to be some woman in the back, somebody that could come out and like just present this as a woman. They couldn't bring back Vicky Guerrero. They couldn't bring out fucking Sable. Not Sable. I would say Medusa. They couldn't just drag her out there. They had to get R-Truth, but there was a reason why they got R-Truth. It came at the end. Well, anyway, the nominees were Nikki, Naomi, Paige, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte Flair. It's announced that Paige wins. Paige comes out. She's like, man, I didn't know I was going to win it. And then the inevitable. R-Truth made a mistake, and Nikki Bella is the champion. They're trying to get the rub from what happened with Steve Harvey last night in the Miss Universe contest. He fucked up. He botched. He said he read the card wrong and gave Miss Universe to Colombia, when in fact it was the Miss Philippines that was Miss Universe. And they just couldn't fucking help themselves. They couldn't help themselves but to do that bullshit to like add on to the fucking heat that Harvey's getting. But Nikki wins. She cuts a really good like women power promo. And then we get a video, like a little package for the Owen Hart DVD. What's going on here? I guess we'll stay tuned to how this is all going about. And you know what that means. DVDs for... you give out DVDs like that, someone's going to the Hall of Fame. And I don't know quite yet if Owen Hart's wife is given the good graces to make this happen. So when I saw this DVD, I think it's called Owen Hart of Gold, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I guess they're like, fuck you, fuck your couch. We're doing this anyway. All right. Neville versus Rusev with Miz on commentary. Neville, who just won Breakout Star, goes down in flames to a kick in the face and the accolades. Good job, WWE. Way to reward and then fucking give it and then take it away. Breakout Star, my ass. It's a breakout jobber. Fuck. You could have just gave that award. You honestly could have just given that award to fucking Owens. You could have just gave it to Owens. You could have gave it to Charlotte Flair. She didn't have a match tonight, so there's no way that she could have lost and looked like an idiot after winning it. Or giving it to Owens because he got into a match and he won the fucking match. You give this fucking breakout shit to Neville and whatever. If you say this shit is you voted for it and you think that your votes count, no, these are already fucking determined. And Neville wins. And I don't know whether that was the one that the people voted for and they were like, well, fuck Neville. We'll give you a reason not to vote for his ass next time. And he had to job out. Because we like him. It's just stupid. Fucking stupid. And then they pick the bones. They get another bro kick. And then there's a fucking brodeo with the league of fucking jobbers. This is awesome. award presented by The Miz, and the nominees are Lesnar destroying J&J's car, Randy Orton's RKO on Rollins at WrestleMania when he lifts his ass up with the shoulder, Rousey and Rock at WrestleMania 31, the Shield reunion powerbomb on Orton at Payback, and then the Divas Revolution debut where all the Team Bad, Team PCB, and Team Bellas all like come face to face. Winner is Rock and Rousey, and their showcase against The Authority at WrestleMania 31. No one's there to get the award. The Miz is like, I'm taking this because I'm awesome. Brie Bella versus Becky Lynch with Flair at ringside. The lesson is that Lynch wanted to get a rematch from Brie because she had help from Flair. She wanted to prove that she could do this on her own. She does it on her own. And then that's that. Nothing really came of it. Next thing you know, you see Flair in the ring, not really to congratulate her, but to showcase that she is the Divas champion. Match of the year, presented by Ric Flair. And the nominees are Rollins, Cena, and Lesnar. It's the Rumble triple threat for the belt. Then you had Sting versus Triple H at WrestleMania 31. Cena versus Owens at that, I guess that maybe what was it? Payback. It was the one that just was only on the network only. And then you had Ziggler, Reigns, and Owens and Alberto Del Rio, fatal four way for the #1 contendership. And then you had Lesnar, Taker at Hell in a Cell. Brock Lesnar versus Taker wins for Hell in a Cell match. I could honestly say that even though that was a kick-ass match, I would definitely say Rollins, Cena, and Lesnar was a better match. I mean, now, Brock and Taker told a great story, and it was full of suspense, full of surprises. But it was something about that Rollins-Cena-Lesnar match at the Rumble that just wowed the living shit out of me and a lot of other people like me. But nevertheless, Brock Taker wins. Heyman comes out and accepts because Brock isn't there. He's in his own fucking town. He doesn't even give a shit about showing up. And Heyman basically cuts a promo saying that he's not there to get awards. He's there to fight, and no one wants to fight him, and blah, blah, blah. And then he gives a shout out to him being all the accolades and that he did it at the University of Minnesota. And then you get the League of Jobbers raping the Usos in the back. That was awkward. That was so awkward. These like beat downs like this where the guys are screaming. It's like simulated rape, man. It really is. It's weird. They need to stop with that shit. Sheamus versus Ambrose in a steel cage match that starts at 11:01. Basically, and I don't even gotta go into detail. I think that the only thing that really happens that fucking stood out is that the first time they come in, when Ambrose comes out, he's brogue kicked before he can even enter the fucking cage. You get Sheamus's boring chants. You get white noise off the top buckle that gets kicked out of. Del Rio slams the door in Ambrose's face. Fucking Reigns comes out and clears out the entire fucking League of Jobbers. Wade Barrett hauls ass. He throws a chair in, and rather than trying to go out the door, Ambrose goes out the fucking, like he just walk out the door. He decides to climb. I don't understand the logic sometimes. And then rather than Sheamus just going out the door as Ambrose is trying to climb out, he climbs the wall to go out there fucking Ambrose. They have the obligatory fucking face off on the top of the fucking cage as they go back and forth punching each other. And then they start to climb off. Now, I don't know whether it's this idea of one of them being like afraid of the heights or whatever, who's going to fall down, but they're punching each other. All you got to do is just let go. They're not holding each other. Just let go and fall. Sheamus, just let go and fall. Ambrose just let go and fall. Ambrose decides he's going to let go and fall. It was, it was a big drop, but nevertheless, man. I mean, I'm like, dude, none of this is believable to me. This is all like a crock of shit. And I understand you're trying to be entertaining, but that was logic stood in the way of me being entertained by this. I was like, none of this is making any sense. None of this. None of this is like, nothing is like challenging, disbelief. None of it. Suspension of disbelief. None of it happened in this fucking match. None of it. Even to the end. From the beginning to the end. None of it fucking fuck with that. And Ambrose fucking wins. So the card's stacked against both the Ambrose and the Usos because Roman Reigns is an insubordinate asshole, bully. It all fucking came to it just burned in flames. It went down in flames. They shoot Stephanie in the back. Poor Tom Phillips has to walk up and he wants to talk to her. How do you feel? Your reaction? She beats his ass. She beats the living shit out of Tom Phillips. Beats the shit out of him. I think she pops him like 8 good times, promoting how women should just hit on dudes. Just beat up guys. Hey, like a guy, just hit him. It's okay. Women can hit men. And just in storyline base, I hope Tom Phillips pressed charges. In storyline, I hope he pressed charges and move forward in, I guess, the story of Stephanie McMahon and her dealing with what she's dealing with and the frustration and her consequences to her actions. And the fact that Tom Phillips is in a hazardous work environment. And I hope they really go on this. It could be interesting. It could be somewhat interesting. And it's, I guess, something else that Roman Reigns can rag about or what have you. To have her removed, bring in a new regime. Maybe this is steps towards getting rid of the authority. What have you. Did I like this show? At some segments. If I was to give it, it's dead center. There's a lot of things that fucked up on. A lot of things that didn't make sense. The fact that a lot of the winners weren't there for the Slammies. The fact that Ziggler is a joke. Neville losing in the same day he wins at a fucking Slammy. The psychology of the cage match was all off. This idea that Roman Reigns is just this, he's like, he owns the company. Like he's this cool dude that he like run. He's a dork to me. A real dork. And then you got, I don't know, it's not clicking still. And I know they're trying their best. They are. I would say that this show was better than, say, the one 2 weeks ago. It wasn't as good as, say, last Monday's. Because it was overwhelming. You got the Slammies, and then you're trying to tie these stories together. Then you have the in-ring. So it was kind of overwhelming, a little too much. Tomorrow there is Super SmackDown. So it's like whatever happened tonight, you'll see a lot of it sort of transpire into tomorrow. SmackDown should be live anyway on Tuesdays. It should be. It should just stay on Tuesdays. But I guess the fact that it's on Sci-Fi, because they probably have holiday stuff on Sci-Fi that they probably won't be able to do it on Thursday. And maybe, just maybe that's the last SmackDown on Sci-Fi. Maybe. I think so. We'll see. I think that's the last one on Sci-Fi. So might as well go out live. I may be wrong, so we'll find out. But other than that, man, thanks for checking out Peter's Raw Recap. Yeah, I didn't even give a grade. I'm gonna give this show a 4. Give it a 4. Yeah. It's a little bit of, say, personal issues versus just being completely overwhelmed. They could have done without 1 or 2 Slammy presentations. They could have gave other matches more time. They could have gave less time to the League of Jobbers. They're trying to make these guys formidable, but they ain't shit. They ain't shit. While Bully Reigns stands tall. Ugh. That guy ain't going anywhere anytime soon. I'm about to deal with this motherfucker. All right, guys. Watch out for those foreign objects. I will see you tomorrow for Peter Talks Super Smackdown. All right? Peace. Watch out for the foreign objects.